Hey, good morning, Pete. Back on the 71 Camaro. I'm going to try to finish up some of the engine wiring today. And part three of the wiring video, I talked about the Tremec and why I'm using a relay instead of the Tremec safety neutral contacts, and talked about some other things. So today, kind of wanted to talk about why I chose to put the fusible link where I did, coming off the battery side of the 200 amp mega fuse. Okay, so this is my hot run in over to the fuse block, which in my opinion should be called a hot run out, and I'm going to talk about that in just a minute. But anyway, there's a couple of main theories about electron flow and current flow in a electrical circuit. And I'm Navy trained, and we were taught electron flow is from negative to positive. Now could be some arguments made about whether you're using some type of generator, alternator, a DC generator, or if you're using an electrochemical source for voltage, which way things work. But I've adopted the electron flow because that's how I was taught. And Navy has quite a bit of electrical and electronic equipment, so I'm going with that. Okay, so why did I put the fusible link that's going to power the fuse block? I put it on this side here because it's closest to the battery connection off the solenoid, which will run directly over to the battery. So the more I thought about it, if I put it on this side, the alternator side, there's the possibility that there's going to be like a parallel network as we split the current either back to the solenoid or through the fuse block if there's a short or an electrical problem. So in my opinion, and you guys can call me full of shit if you want, but I decided that the fusible link should go on that side closest to the battery to power the fuse block. And that's what I'm going with. So anyway, that's kind of mainly what I wanted to talk about today. The other thing is that Ford and some of the other automotive manufacturers a long time ago used to actually ground the positive side of the battery to the chassis. But I think since then, the scientific and engineering community has decided, or just as a matter of convention, has agreed that electrons flow from negative to positive in a circuit. And they've done a lot of testing since Ford used to ground the positive side. And that's what they've come up with. If you look at electrochemical processes like plating and which way current flows, and whether you're talking about your cathode or your anode and what you're trying to plate, depending on that determines how you set up your polarity. Okay, this camera just shut off and I don't know why. It's freaking GoPro and it just does that every once in a while. But anyway, yeah, so back to the electron flow. The other thing is, now this part here is kind of speculation on my part. I don't know this for a fact, but I heard that when Ford used to ground the positive side of the battery to the chassis and the frame, because they were going with conventional theory back then, that it actually caused more corrosion on the car. And like I said, that part I don't know if it's true or not. It could be urban legend, some kind of myth. But anyway, Ford and pretty much the entire automotive society at some point decided to go with electron flow theory, which is negative to positive. So everybody, as far as I'm aware of nowadays, grounds the negative side of the battery to the chassis, and that's considered ground, your low side. So anyway, Pete, North Las Vegas, over and out.